Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 7 of the NCL, the Nimbasa City League Pick'ems. It's Jed here, captain of the Adelaide Overheat, ready to go through the results from week 6 and who we are looking to pick in week 7. Week 6, we had the Snow Point City Blizzard versus the Krabby Kadabbies, the Tampa Bay Weasels versus the Seattle Staraptors, Atlanta Staraptors versus the Green Bay Glissapods, Detroit Terravots versus Lightning Lantern, Wuchia Wartortoise versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the UNC Wingulls versus the Adelaide Overheat. Obviously some one-sided matchups here. So either some people are going to be getting a lot of points, or some people are going to be getting, well, actually, most people are going to be getting either a lot of things right, or most people are going to be getting a lot of things wrong, depending on how these matchups turn up. Um, so yeah, we'll have a quick look at the results, and we will see how it went overall. All right, so the Krabby Kadabbies did come out on top over the Snow Point City Blizzard. First upset of the week was the Seattle Staraptors versus the Tampa Bay Weasels. So a lot of people's pick'ems ruined right there. Green Bay Glissapods do come out over the Atlanta Staraptors as well, so a little bit of an upset there too. But I mean, that was always going to be a close match. Two really good battlers. That's how it is. Ian and the Lightning Lantern do take the win against the Detroit Terravots. So at least most people redeeming some points there. The Wiltshire Wartortles do win over the Cleveland Cavaliers, so Phil picking up himself an extra point over other people. Most other people, I should say. But once again, that was going to be a close match no matter what, so that was could have gone either way in that respect. But yeah, good work for Phil picking that up, and bad luck to Dom. And then the UNC Wingulls do win over me, the Adelaide Overheat. Unfortunately, he just played really well with the slow teams. He played with a lot of bulk, and I wasn't really prepared to deal with that. I dealt with it as good as I could, but I was not able to pick up the win. He did manage to take me out in the end, unfortunately. But what can I say? It's what happens sometimes, and Jay is definitely a good battler, so I'm not too upset about that, but it was a long battle, let's just put it that way. It took a while to get through. We'll take a look at the scoreboard now and see how people are going. See, a lot of people had low scoring pick'ems this week. Fuel is once again top with that 4-2 this week. And that's moving him further ahead of everyone else because all the other top three or four or whatever that was up there, dropped down because they all went 2-4 this week, so they all lost 2 points. They are still ahead of the next top person, which is Jay, who went 3-3. The back end of the scoreboard so far is actually closing up. Howler and Magic getting some points this week, and so that is moving them a little bit up the leaderboard as well. Nacho drops down there because he lost some points over Howler. Daniel still in the same position, I think, from last time. But yeah, so that's these scores so far. We're halfway through the season now, so we really got to start getting some good predictions going in to mix this scoreboard up a little bit. But so far, Phil is the only one that has gone better than 3-3 every single week. That's why he's at the top. So good for him. Hopefully he can keep it up and keep making these correct predictions and put himself in a good place for getting that Pick'ems champion Discord. What do you call it? Role, I guess. The Discord role. That'll be interesting to see if he can keep up his predictions. So, anyway, on to week seven's matchups, and we'll get into the predictions there as well. We've got the UNC Wingars versus the Tampa Bay Weasels as our first matchup this week. Then the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Snow Point City Blizzard. Ladner Lantern versus the Wiltshire War Turtles. Green Bay Glissopods versus Detroit Terravolts. We've got a Star Raptor rivalry match going on here. The Seattle Staraptors taking on the Atlanta Staraptors. So going to be interesting to come see which Star Raptor is superior. And then we've got the Adelaide Overheat versus the Krabby Kadabby. Is going to be a tough battle, but what can you do? Everyone in, like, I mean, I say this every week, but everyone in this league is a pretty decent battler, so nothing is guaranteed. Anyway, UNC Wingars versus the Tampa Bay Weasel first up. Mega Cameron, Clefable, Bishop, Haxorus, Cloister, Rotomo, Volbeat, Gothitelle, Dusclops, Hitmonlee, Heatran versus the Mega Scizor, Kyron Black, Gengar, Crocodile, Primarina, Licky Licky, Kecleon, Zapdos, Emboar, Esselgor, and Mesprit. So while Jay's team is slow, I found out the hard way that just means that it can be bulky and hard to break through. And that's definitely going to be something that Ben is going to have to he's going to have to build for when he does his team building. He does have some good breakers with things like the Kyron Black and the Primarina. Even Emboar is a good breaker, so there's some nice defensive breakers there. But like Kyron Black isn't really gonna want to. Well, I don't know. Kyron Black is definitely a threat that UNC Wingals are gonna have to keep an eye on. It pretty much destroys most things on Jay's team. So it's going to be something that he has to prep a lot for. Cloister, maybe if it gets a Shell Smash up, might be able to deal with it semi-okay. Obviously, depending on sets and stuff. Bishop could get a nice Iron Head off or something like that, potentially. But Kyron Black isn't really the slowest either, so it's going to be outspeeding at least some of, if not most of, Jay's team. So definitely something that's going to be interesting to see. But like, I personally think the Boizels here have the matchup. Ben's got a really strong looking team, but the Wingals Jay is a very good battler, and like he can obviously still win games, even though his first win was against me, and I'm really upset about that. But what can you do? As I said, he's a good battler, so he's always. I feel like he's had a lot of close games this match, even with the disadvantage he's given himself. So it's going to be interesting to see what way he preps to deal with the Boizels. As I said, I am going with the Tampa Bay Boizels for my pick here, and so are most other people. Magic, the only one going for the Wingals. Even Jay not going for himself, though I think after the way he played last week, he definitely could take that opportunity to go for himself. So, but that's his choice, I guess. Anyway, Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Snow Point City Blizzards up next. We got the Mega Charizard X, the Jirachi, Suicune, Crobat, Greninja, Gligar, Armaldo, Tapu Bulu, Cresselia, Lanoon, and the Electrode versus the Mega Aggron, Landorus, Therian, Ferrothorn, Pelipper, Kingdra, Meloetta, Castform, Zeraora, Ludicolo, Klefki, and Quillfish. I'm just going to say it here, Cleveland Cavaliers, Dom does have this matchup as well. I feel Mega Aggron is like a bulky boy, but things like the Mega Charizard should be able to get through it. Even Tapu Bulu is gonna. Well, I mean, Mega Aggron does get that heavy slam, but I think Tapu Bulu might still be able to deal with it okay. Cresselia can probably like use it as setup fodder. Um, so that's definitely going to be interesting there. Cresselia could have like a sub-calm mindset that could deal with the Mega Aggron alright. Same with Suicune actually, so definitely going to be have to be something that Magic watches out for. Something setting up on his Mega Aggron. Um, Landorus is always a threat. Ferrothorn is a nice wall. But once again, things like the Mega Charizard, the Jirachi, Greninja, Tapu Bulu, stuff like that, do have ways of dealing with these threats. Ferrothorn can't really just freely leech seed if things like the Tapu Bulu come. Um, I mean, Magic does have that rain, which is going to help protect things from the Mega Charizard a little bit, but like it's definitely something that is going to be able to be played around um with Dom's team over here. So like Greninja's just going to be able to do hydro cannons in that, or like even just boosted scalds or whatever. Tapu Bulu won't mind the fire resist either, though like fire obviously isn't the greatest bring against the Cleveland Cavaliers. They don't he doesn't have much that's weak to fire. Mainly the Tapu Bulu and the Jirachi. But yeah, I think the Cleveland Cavaliers have this matchup. Snowpoint City Blizzard can always put up a fight. They've got Magic's got an interesting team to work with, but I think the Escavaliers will be able to break through anything that Magic wants to bring. So I'm going with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and so is everyone except Matt and Magic. So Magic is backing himself, which is always good, and Matt is going for Magic to win this match too. So good luck to those guys. It's going to be an interesting battle for sure. Always, I always enjoy watching these battles. They're always interesting. So next up is Ladner Lantern versus the Wuchia Wartortles. We've got Ian versus Phil. Mega Pinsir, Mew, Sylveon, Alolan Ninetales, Rotom Heat, Alolan Sandslash, Alolan Raticate, too many Alolans, Melodic, Coma O, Superior, and Stunfisk. Versus the Mega Aerodactyl, Manaphy, Conkeldurr, Nidoqueen, Whimsicott, Bronzong, Tauros, Gudra, Umbreon, Rotom, and Blacephalon. So Ian has the superior Rotom form on his team, which is nice for him. Though the Mega Aerodactyl is going to destroy that Rotom. So that's always something to watch out for on the Rotom side. Like Rotom is always a pretty decent bring, especially with things like the Bronzong and even the Manaphy. Like because Rotom's got that electric type, Manaphy can't really just freely come in on the Rotom Heat, even if like an overheat, if he predicts an overheat coming or something like that. Nidoqueen is going to be alright against the Rotom Heat, but it can't really hit the Rotom that much. And then things like Mew will be decent against the Nidoqueen. Have to watch out for things like the Alolan Ninetales and the Alolan Sandslash as well, which can quite easily get to a point of outspeeding that Nidoqueen and be able to hit it really hard, though the Nidoqueen does have the coverage to be able to deal with both of those. Conkeldurr is a bulky boy and with a bit of priority is going to be nice. I do believe it gets Mach Punch, right? That will like destroy the Alolan Sandslash. So that's going to be probably a bring against Ian here, just for things like that, to stop the Alolan Sandslash freely setting up. Inhale. Whimsicott could be nice, having like the priority Thunderwave and stuff like that is always nice. Bronzong is a solid wall, so I could see that coming. I don't know if Ian's going to want to bring the Alolan Raticate to be able to deal with that Bronzong or anything like that, but you never know. Here, Melodic is going to be a decent check for that Blacephalon, most likely. Blacephalon does not really get any good coverage to deal with a bulky water type, so I can see that coming as well. And in that case, I think something like the Whimsicott would probably come to help try and deal with that melodic as well. So possibly the Rotom too. But that's yeah, all my analysis I have for this game. I think that this game is probably going to be one of the games of the week. Probably the game of the week. It's going to be a tough battle. It's going to be a good battle to watch. So check this one out. This is my pick for battle of the week. I am backing Ian and the Ladner Lantern, though. As I said, it's going to be a close game. This score line, or well, this pick line, I feel like doesn't really justify how close the game will probably be. But most people are picking Ian here just because well, I don't know why. He's just been doing really good recently, and he's got a really good record in this league so far. So that's why I'm going with him, and that's ending up at a 9-3 for the Ladner Lantern versus the Wiltshire Wartortles. Next up, we have the Green Bay Glissopods versus the Detroit Terravolt. Mega Sharpedo, Latios, Volcarona, Donphan, Decidueye, Registeel, Gerda, Thundy, Florges, Weezing, Regice versus Mega Diancie, Celesteela, Toxapex, Serena, Chandelure, Uxie, Piloswine, Garchomp, Buzzwole, Electivire, and the Drampa. So, Mega Sharpedo is a decent check for that Mega Diancie. Chip it a little bit, and an Aquajet or something like that from the Mega Sharpedo will be able to deal with that Mega Diancie alright. Celesteela, though, can deal with that Mega Sharpedo decently. Same with the Toxapex. Can at least block, like, take a hit and haze away its speed boost or something like that. The Toxapex can. Though Latios can deal with the Toxapex okay. Though there are, like, Matt on the Green Bay Glissopods is definitely going to find it hard to break through that Celesteela, so I could expect a Volcarona to come, potentially. That'll be able to deal with the Celesteela pretty decently. Though the Celesteela does get things like Rock Slide, which the Volcarona will not appreciate at all. Weezing gets coverage that can deal with the Celesteela. Thundy is probably going to be pretty good against the Celesteela. Registeel looks like a pretty decent wall this week. Be able to take hits from that Toxapex, okay, though you don't really want to get it. You don't really want to get it burnt if you can help it. But it could be like a rest Registeel, something like that. I could see that coming. So I could see Chandelure being a bring as well to help deal with that Registeel. Though Garchomp could be good in that aspect as well. And Buzzwole could be pretty good in that aspect also. So there's definitely some options for both of these coaches. A few different things that they could bring in this matchup. I do feel like the Green Bay Glissopods will come away with the win, and so that's why my pick was in that direction, and it looks like most other people were as well. 9-3 in favour of the Glissopods. So that's how it is looking at this point. But as I said, both coaches are good, and it could be a very, very interesting match to watch. And it's going to be, I feel like it'll be a fairly close game, no matter what. Next up, we have the Staraptor grudge match. Seattle Staraptors versus the Atlanta Staraptors. Battle of the Staraptors. Mega Swampert, Zygarde 50%, Mimikyu, Metagross, Politoed, Ditto, Xatu, Jolteon, Volcanion, Scolipede, and Slacking. Versus Mega Altaria, Victini, Gliscor, Tangrowth, Empoleon, Cryogonal, Haunter, Rako, Keldeo, Zoroark, and the Ferroseed. I feel like the combination of Gliscor, Tangrowth, Empoleon will be pretty good this match. Tangrowth to take those hits from the Zygarde. Also, potentially the Mega Swampert. Empoleon to take hits from things like the Mimikyu, uh, the Politoed. Uh, guess I guess that's pretty much the main things that Empoleon would potentially be covering. Depends what the Ditto changes into. Xatu might not be able to touch it too much. Gliscor will be able to help a bit with like the Metagross and Jolteon and the Scolipede as well. So that is definitely, I think, a solid core of defensive mons that could be coming. Though uh, obviously Daniel does have things that will be able to deal with those, but it's going to be like it's going to be a game of lots of switching around. I feel like, especially on Austin's side, on the Atlanta Raptors side, um, to get that Tangrowth in when needed, to get that Empoleon in when needed, to get that Gliscor in when needed. Mega Swampert can tear this team up a little bit if it's in the right situation. Zoroark's not gonna appreciate hits from the Swampert. Raikou not gonna appreciate hits from the Swampert. Cryogonal isn't really gonna appreciate a hit from the Swampert. Victini is not either, and even the Mega Altaria can be hit pretty hard depending on what the Swampert brings. So if it brings like Ice Punch, Gliscor is not going to appreciate it. Tangrowth isn't really going to appreciate that either, though if it's a defensive one, it can probably still afford to take a hit and then switch back out. Zygarde can be dangerous to play against. It's making sure it doesn't sit up in your face and stuff like that is definitely something that is going to have to be looked at. And that 1,000 arrows means that things like Cryogonal, which would normally be a pretty big threat for the Zygarde, are not really going to be able to deal with it that well. Like, you can't switch a Mega Altaria in on a Zygarde because it goes for that 1,000 arrows, and even if you're not Mega, you're still going to get hit. Cryogonal is still going to get hit. Haunter is still going to get hit. So it's going to be pretty dangerous to switch into. Tangrowth is probably going to be coming as a dedicated Zygarde 50% check, as it normally is when you have Zygarde on your team and you see a Tangrowth on the other. From my experience of playing with Zygarde, that's for sure. I feel like I don't know if a rain team really makes sense this week. Raikou could take advantage of that with some Thunders. I mean, that's the only real thing that the Staraptors have that can take advantage of that Thunder. I guess Ferroseed can take a fire hit, but Seattle Staraptors does not have a real fire threat, so I don't even think that Ferroseed will come this week. Volcanion, of course, he's got the Volcanion. That's a fire threat for sure. But yeah, I don't feel like Ferroseed's really going to be coming this week. Volcanion's actually going to be pretty difficult to deal with as well. I don't know what Austin is going to bring to be able to deal with that. Empoleon, especially a defensive variant of Empoleon, could maybe deal with it a little bit. But it does get that Earth power, which Empoleon's not going to appreciate. So, who knows? Maybe the Keldeo, but then if it's not a special Keldeo, you're going to have to be wary of getting burnt. But that's just how it is, I guess. I am going to side with the Atlanta Raptors for this match, as most people are, with Howler, J, and Magic all siding with the Seattle Raptors. So, well, let's see who's going to get the best picks then. Next up, we've got the Adelaide Overheat versus the Krabby Kadabbies as the last matchup of the week. Once again, I'm going to finish this off by not really talking about my matchup all that much. I don't want to give away too much of what I'm thinking. in this video, as this video does generally go up before the battles are done, and as I'm recording this, my battle has not been done, so yeah, but we've got the Mega Beedrill, the Tornadus Therian, Rotom Wash, Kyurem, Gardevoir, Gourgeist, Hitmonchan, Kartana, Aerodactyl, Nidoking, Alolan Persian, versus the Mega Sceptile, Tapu Koko, Howlucha, Vaporeon, Porygon 2, Delphox, Avalugg, Weavile, Mismagius, Scizor, Palossand. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting match. Cade is a good battler. I've only played him. I don't know how many times I played him. Maybe it's only been the once. I did beat him the one time that I remember playing him, but like it was a close game and it could have gone either way, to be honest. And I mean that could be how it goes. I like close matches that are fun to play, so no matter what, I hope it's hacksless and a good game. And I mean, obviously, Tapu Koko Howlucha is something to watch out for. Mega Sceptile is very fast. He's got an overall much faster team than my team, so that's definitely something I have to watch out for. And he's got a lot of bulky mons that are tough to deal with as well, like the Vaporeon, the Porygon, and the Avalugg. So it's going to be a tough one for sure. But let's see if my prep can pick up this win. But yeah, so I'm going to side with myself. And this is actually the most even matchup that people are voting on this week. 7 people going for the Krabby Kadabbies, 5 going for the Adelaide Overheat. So thanks, guys. I'll try not to let you down again. But I mean, we can't help what happens. All we can do is put in our best effort and hope it pays off. And I mean, that's what I aim to do. So yeah, that's the matchups for this week. Thank you all for watching. Ooh, almost made it through without coughing. What is this? Feel free to check out any of the coaches that upload videos. Their links will be in the description. And just keep an eye out for any more of the NCL videos that will be coming out in the near future. So thank you all for watching, and we will see you next week for more pick'ems for week 8, and we'll go over the week 7 results as well. So thanks, guys, and we'll catch you later.